black bitch, thinking you can steal his money and his child? Madison's hand cracked across Sarah's face, the slap echoing like a gunshot in the packed New York courtroom. Sarah's cheek burned, skin splitting under the force, blood warm on her lip. She staggered, hands flying to her swollen belly where her baby kicked wildly. 8 months heavy and vulnerable. Richard stood there, his white face twisted in smug approval, arms crossed over his tailored suit. Not a flicker of remorse as his mistress, his white mistress, unleashed the blow. "That's for trying to trap him, you welfare queen," Madison snarled, her designer heels clicking closer, finger jabbing at Sarah's chest. "We all know your kind. Lazy, scheming, popping out kids for a paycheck." Sarah's jaw clenched, teeth grinding against the pain, her dark eyes locking on Madison's pale ones. The courtroom froze, bailiffs slow to react, whispers rippling through the crowd like fire through dry grass. "Objection!" Rebecca, Sarah's lawyer, shouted from the defense table, slamming her fist down. But Richard cut her off, his voice booming. "She's right. Sarah's nothing but a gold digger, using that baby to cling to my empire." He leaned in, whispering loud enough for the judge to hear. "I married you to keep you quiet about your mother's accident, not to let you drag me down with your black family drama." The words hit harder than the slap. Sarah's breath caught, memories flashing, her mother's crumpled car on that rainy Harlem street 10 years ago, hit and run by some rich white driver who vanished, money erasing every trace. She straightened, refusing to crumple, her hands protective over her unborn son. "You think this ends here?" She spat, voice steady despite the tremor in her limbs. Madison laughed, a sharp cutting sound. "It does for you. Richard's mine now. Pure, white, successful. You? Just another statistic." The judge banged his gavel, face stern under his robes. "Order! Miss Cole, step back or face contempt." But Madison pressed forward, shoving Sarah's shoulder. "Stay in your lane, girl. We built this country. You just leech off it." Sarah's vision blurred from the sting, but she held firm, the baby thrashing inside her like a protest. Bailiffs finally moved, grabbing Madison's arms, pulling her away as she screamed slurs. "Let go! She's the one faking it for sympathy." Richard smirked, phone already in hand, texting his PR team to spin the story. "See, Judge? Emotional instability. Unfit mother." Sarah gasped as a contraction ripped through her, water breaking in a warm rush down her legs. Pain exploded, knees buckling, but she gripped the table edge, nails digging into wood. This is what you wanted," she whispered to Richard, eyes fierce. The courtroom erupted. Gasps, shouts, Rebecca rushing to her side. "Call 911, she's in labor." Medics burst in, wheeling a stretcher, but Sarah's mind raced back to her wedding day 3 years ago. Richard had charmed her, a young black social studies teacher from Brooklyn, with promises of a better life. "I'll protect you," he'd said, but now she saw the truth. He'd married her to silence her questions about her mother's death, using his white privilege to bury the past. As they lifted her onto the stretcher, the judge, William Jenkins, a black man with silver hair and piercing eyes, leaned over the bench. "Hold on, young lady. Justice waits for no one." Sarah's contractions intensified, each wave crashing like retribution. Madison twisted in the bailiff's grip, spitting. "She deserved it. All of them do." Richard hushed her, but his eyes betrayed fear, the first crack in his armored facade. Paramedics pushed Sarah out, sirens wailing in her ears, but she clutched Rebecca's hand. "Don't let them win." The doors slammed shut, leaving the chaos behind, her body screaming in labor, heart pounding with unresolved rage. The slap wasn't just physical, it was the spark igniting years of hidden truths, racial wounds festering under America's polished surface. As the ambulance sped through Manhattan streets, Sarah vowed silently, this child would know strength, not submission. The pain built, unrelenting, mirroring the injustice that had defined her life, until now. "Get her out of here, she's faking it all," Richard barked at the paramedics, his voice slicing through the ambulance chaos, phone glued to his ear as he dialed his fixer. Sarah lay strapped to the gurney, contractions ripping her apart like knives twisting deep, but she locked eyes with him through the open doors. This blood on my face? Is this baby fighting to survive? It's your legacy, Richard. White guilt wrapped in black pain. Her words cut sharply, no tears, just steel in her voice, hands clenched over her belly, as if shielding her son from his father's poison. Richard lunged forward, face reddening. "Shut your mouth! You think that slap was bad? I'll bury you deeper than your nosy mother." The paramedics shoved him back, doors slamming shut, but his threat hung heavy, echoing in Sarah's mind. The siren wailed, tires screeching out of the courthouse lot, weaving through Manhattan traffic. Inside, Sarah's body convulsed, sweat soaking her maternity dress, the metallic taste of blood on her tongue from the split lip. Rebecca squeezed her hand from the jump seat. "Breathe, Sarah. We're almost there. That slap? It's assault. We'll sue them blind." But Sarah shook her head, teeth bared against another wave of pain. "It's more than that. He married me to shut me up. About Mom's crash. About everything. I won't break." Her voice held steady, a quiet fury building, fingers digging into the gurney straps until her knuckles whitened. Flashbacks hit hard. Her mother's funeral, the police report calling it a hit and run by unknown white SUV. Case closed too fast. Whispers of bribes in Harlem circles. Sarah had met Richard at a charity gala for racial justice. Ironic now, him flashing wealth, promising to fund her investigations into cold cases like her mom's. "I'll give you the resources," he'd said. But once married, he isolated her, cut her teaching job, and monitored her calls. "Stay home, play the good black wife," he'd sneer during fights, his white entitlement dripping like venom. The ambulance jolted over a pothole, pain exploding anew. Sarah gasped, but refused to scream, channeling the strength her mother taught her. Protests in the 90s, marching for equality, raising Sarah alone after her father vanished. "Your silence is power," Mom used to say. Now Sarah embodied it, staring at the ceiling lights flickering like judgment. "He thinks I'm weak because I'm black, pregnant, and alone. But this child, he'll carry the truth." Rebecca nodded, pulling out her phone to record notes. "We'll get statements from witnesses. That judge, Jenkins, he looked ready to explode. Black man on the bench seeing this? It's personal." Sarah's lips pressed tight, another contraction slamming her. She pictured Richard back at the courthouse, spinning lies to reporters. Emotional black woman causing drama. Madison would back him, her white tears flowing for the cameras, playing victim. But Sarah wouldn't yield. "Promise me," she whispered to Rebecca, grip iron strong. "Expose them. The slap was their mistake. It's the crack in their wall." The ambulance screeched to a halt at Harlem Hospital, doors flying open, nurses rushing in. "8 months pregnant, assaulted in court. Get her to delivery," one yelled, wheeling her inside. Fluorescent lights blurred overhead, monitors beeping frantically as they hooked her up. Sarah's body arched in agony, but her mind sharpened. Visions of her son, dark skin like her, growing up free from Richard's shadow. "I accept this pain," she murmured to herself, voice a low growl. "But I won't accept their world." Doctors swarmed, prepping for emergency delivery, but Sarah turned to Rebecca one last time. "Tell the judge. Tell him the truth waits." Her words hung prophetic, heavy with unspoken secrets, as anesthesia masked her face. The operating room doors closed, leaving Rebecca in the hall, phone buzzing with courthouse updates. Madison arrested, Richard raging. Sarah's resilience echoed a silent vow that this birth would mark not defeat, but the start of reckoning. Pain faded into darkness, but her spirit burned bright, unbreakable. "Push now! Your baby's crowning!" The doctor's command sliced through the delivery room haze, gloved hands steady as Sarah bore down, muscles screaming in raw defiance. She arched against the stirrups, nails gouging the bedsheets, her roar echoing off sterile walls. The pain peaked, a firestorm tearing her open, but she channeled it. Fury from the slap, betrayal from Richard's eyes. The weight of her mother's unsolved death fueling every thrust. "One more! Here he comes!" Nurses flanked her, monitors beeping frantically, Rebecca pacing outside the door with updates from the courthouse chaos. The baby slid free in a rush of fluid and cries, tiny fists waving protest. It's a boy! Strong lungs on this one. The doctor placed him on Sarah's chest, warm and slick, his dark skin mirroring hers, eyes blinking up in confusion. Sarah's arms wrapped around him instinctively, breath ragged, the world narrowing to his heartbeat against her own. William, she whispered, naming him after the judge who'd ordered the arrest. A quiet rebellion. But exhaustion crashed in, vision spotting black as nurses whisked him to the warmer for checks. Doors burst open. Emma stormed in, badge flashing under her suit, her black features sharp with urgency. I'm her sister. Let me through. She shoved past a hesitant nurse, reaching Sarah's side in 2 strides. Sarah, I saw it all. That white witch won't touch you again. Emma's hand gripped Sarah's, firm, her lawyer's gaze scanning the room like a battlefield. I stepped in at the courthouse, documented the assault, got Madison cuffed on the spot. Richard's spinning lies, but I've got witnesses. Sarah's eyes fluttered open, pain dulling under a morphine drip. Sister? I don't... But Emma cut her off, voice low and fierce. Half-sister, our father, Judge Jenkins, he doesn't know yet. Mom hid it from everyone, scared of the racial backlash in his world. But I found you months ago, watching from afar. Couldn't let them destroy you like they did her. The words hit like aftershocks, Sarah's mind reeling. Her mother, hit-and-run victim, secrets buried with her. Emma pulled a chair close, wiping Sarah's brow. Breathe. You're safe now. I handled the press outside, framed it as a racial assault on a pregnant black woman. Public's exploding online. Nurses returned William, bundled and calm, his cries softening as Sarah held him again. He's perfect, Emma murmured, touching his tiny hand. Like you. Resilient. But Sarah's grip tightened, contractions, echoes, fading into resolve. Help me end this. Richard married me to bury Mom's case. He knew something. Emma's eyes narrowed. I suspected. Mom left clues before she died. A letter in my things, mentioning a white Tycoon's car at the scene. We'll dig together. Rebecca entered then, phone in hand. Madison's charged. Assault, harassment. Judge postponed the divorce, but Richard's pulling strings, claiming you provoked it. Emma snarled. Let him try. I've got pull in civil rights circles. NAACP contacts ready to amplify. Sarah nodded, strength surging despite the haze. No more hiding. This boy's future won't be tainted by their white lies. William nursed hungrily, his latch a lifeline, pulling her from the brink. Hours blurred, doctors checking vitals, pain meds kicking in full. Emma stayed, coordinating with Rebecca, her presence a shield. Rest now, she urged, but Sarah's hand slipped into her bag, fingers brushing an old envelope that tumbled out during the courthouse scramble. What's this? Emma picked it up, frowning at the faded handwriting. Mom's script. A letter? To my daughters, if the past catches up. Sarah's heart pounded. Open it later. But promise, we uncover everything. Emma tucked it away, eyes fierce. We will. Family fights back. As night fell over the hospital, Sarah drifted, William asleep on her chest, the SLAPS sting fading into purpose. But that envelope loomed, a seed of deeper storms, whispering of accidents, not accidental, truths waiting to erupt. The city lights outside flickered like warnings, pulling her toward the hunt ahead. You think that envelope changes anything, black girl? Your mother's dead. Stay buried with her. Richard's voice snarled through the phone speaker, cutting off Sarah's breath as Emma held the device up in the dim hospital room. Sarah's fingers crushed the bedsheet, William fussing in her arms, his tiny cries amplifying her rage. Hang up, she hissed to Emma, but Richard plowed on. I own this city. Your little investigation? Crushed like her car. Click. The line died, his threat landing like a fresh slap, igniting Sarah's core. Emma's jaw tightened, slamming the phone down. He's scared. That letter from Mom. It's the key. Sarah shifted William to her breast, his latch pulling her focus, but her eyes burned fiercely. Then we start now. No waiting. Emma nodded, pulling out her laptop, fingers flying across keys. I've got contacts, old civil rights files from Mom's days. She was digging into hit-and-runs targeting black activists. Sarah's heart pounded, handing William to a nurse for burping, then leaning forward despite the post-birth ache. Richard knew. He married me to watch me. Shut down my questions. They dove in, Emma hacking into public records, police reports from 10 years back, her mother's crash site photos flashing on screen. Sarah pointed, finger trembling. That SUV matches Richard's old fleet. Emma cross-referenced, pulling up vehicle registrations. Bingo, sold right after, paper trail scrubbed, but not deep enough. A knock, Rebecca burst in, files under arm. Witness statements from the courthouse. One bailiff saw Madison whisper to Richard before the slap. She's on to us. Sarah's fist balled. On to what? Mom's death wasn't random. The hunt accelerated. Emma dialing an ex-cop buddy, voice low. Harlem Precinct, 2015 hit and run. Any buried leads? The contact grunted. Bribes flew. White money shut it down. Sarah grabbed the phone. Names, give me names. He hesitated. Harrington's firm donated big to the department that week. Click. Another domino fell. Sarah paced, ignoring the IV tug, William's coups grounding her. He caused it. Drunk, with Madison, fleeing like cowards. Emma pulled up old news clips. Richard's alibi party that night, photos showing him disheveled. Alibi cracks here. Witnesses recanted after donations. Rebecca spread maps on the bed. Crash site near his office. Mom was heading to a meeting, exposing real estate scams targeting black neighborhoods. Sarah's eyes widened, pieces slamming together. His empire built on displacing us, washing money through evictions. They triangulated, Emma emailing a hacker friend for deleted emails. Got one, Madison to Richard. That black bitch is snooping. Handle it like Caroline. Sarah froze. Caroline? His ex-wife. Rebecca nodded. Pushed downstairs. Accident. She knew too much. The room is heated, call stacking. Sarah dialing her old teaching colleague, a black historian in Brooklyn. Mom's notes. Anything on Harrington? The friend whispered. She had dirt. Land grabs in Harlem. Bribes to silence protests. Sarah's voice cracked sharply. Send it all. Files flooded in, Emma printing furiously. Here's Caroline's autopsy. Bruises inconsistent with a fall. Covered up. Sarah's hands shook, cradling William as he slept. He killed her to hide the scams, and Mom for getting close. They pushed deeper, a midnight raid on public archives via Emma's access. Tax records, Richard's company laundered through fake charities. Sarah spotted a pattern. Donations spiked after Mom's death. To cops, judges. Rebecca cross-checked. One judge recused himself. Conflict. Emma's eyes lit. Our father? He was on rotation then. Sarah's breath hitched. He knew Mom from the old days. The envelope from Mom's bag sat unopened, taunting. Open it now? Emma asked. Sarah shook her head. Not yet. Build the case first. Calls to informants rolled. A former maid from Richard's mansion. Overheard him bragging, one less black agitator. Sarah's teeth ground. Record that. The maid sent audio, grainy but damning. He laughed about the crash. Dominoes tumbled faster. Emma uncovered bank transfers post-crash, silencing witnesses. Millions washed clean. Sarah stood, IV pole rattling, fire in her veins. He caged me in marriage to stop this. Racial control masked as love. Rebecca nodded. We tie it to the slap, assault as silencing. Hours blurred into dawn, William waking for feeds, his innocence fueling Sarah's drive. For him, we expose it all. Emma pulled up Caroline's old emails, hacked from archives. She threatened to go public. Scams, the crash. Sarah's fist slammed the table. He pushed her, silenced forever. They compiled dossiers, photos, timelines, an unbreakable chain. Next, confront sources in person. Sarah dressed, ignoring nurse protests, with William in a sling. Harlem streets first, Mom's old allies. They stepped out, city pulse hitting hard, but Sarah's stride was firm. Richard thinks we're weak. Black women rising? His nightmare. Emma locked arms. Together, we shatter him. The envelope burned in her pocket, secrets pulsing, ready to unleash. But first the streets called, truths buried in shadows waiting to surface. Back off, white devil. Your kind already took enough from us. The woman's shout pierced the Harlem Community Center air, her fist raised at the eviction notice clutched in her hand, eyes blazing at the landlord's rep, a slick white suit hovering near the door. Sarah stepped forward from the circle of black women, William strapped to her chest in a sling, his soft breath steady against her heartbeat. No more, she declared, voice cutting like a blade, snatching the paper and tearing it in half. This scam ends today. The rep sneered. You? A single mom fresh from court drama? Stay out of it. But Sarah advanced, chin high, ignoring the post-birth twinge in her core. I've faced worse. Your boss, Richard's the real thief, displacing families for his towers. The group erupted. Cheers from the women, chairs scraping as they formed a wall behind her. Sarah's hands shook with adrenaline, but she held firm, pulling out her phone to snap the notice. Call your lawyers. We're fighting back. The rep backed away, muttering slurs under his breath. Uppity black bitches. Sarah's jaw locked, teeth grinding. Say it louder. Let the world hear your hate. He fled, door slamming, leaving the room buzzing. One woman gripped Sarah's arm. How? We're broke. Scared. Sarah knelt, eye level. I was too. Slapped in court. Baby born from trauma. But we organized petitions, calls to counsel, hit them where it hurts. William gurgled, drawing smiles, his tiny fist waving like a rally cry. Sarah straightened, addressing the group. My mom fought this. Evictions targeting us. White money pushing black folks out. I won't let her death be for nothing. Whispers spread, stories pouring out. Lost homes, broken families. Sarah listened, notepad in hand, jotting leads. That building on 125th. Richard's firm owns it, same as the crash site. An elder nodded. Your mom warned us. Scams buried deep. Sarah's pulse quickened, linking it to the envelope still sealed in her bag. She led a huddle, voices rising in strategy. Boycott their events, flood social media, Erosh Harlem stands. Phones lit up, posts flying, videos of the confrontation going viral. Sarah's fingers flew across her screen, tagging allies from her teaching days. We build coalitions, black, brown, anyone oppressed. Pain from labor lingered, but she pushed through, William's weight a reminder of the stakes. For our kids, no more silence. The meeting stretched, plans solidifying, protests scheduled, legal aid from Emma's network. As dusk hit, Sarah slipped out, William dozing, heading to her cramped Brooklyn apartment. Walls thin, but hers now, free from Richard's grip. She fed William, his eyes locking on hers, trust absolute. You'll know strength, little one, not their chains. Her phone buzzed. Emma's text. New lead on Caroline. Meet tomorrow. Sarah replied quickly. Ready. But today, helped 10 women file complaints. Pride swelled, but exhaustion bit hard. She collapsed on the couch, envelope mocking from the table. Flashbacks assaulted. Richard's wedding vows twisted now. I'll lift you, he'd lied, using her as cover for his racial empire. She ripped the envelope open slightly, peeking at Mom's words. Daughters, the crash wasn't an accident. Harrington's mark. Fury ignited anew, but Sarah sealed it back. Not alone anymore. She stood, pacing, calling a neighbor for babysitting. Group therapy tonight. Survivors like me. At the session, a circle of black women shared scars, abuse, loss. Sarah spoke last. Slapped while pregnant, but I rose. We all can. Hands linked, strength flowing. William stirred, pulling her home. She tucked him in, whispering stories of Mom's marches. She fought invisible wars. We finished them. The city hummed outside, threats lurking, but Sarah's resolve hardened. Emma's call came late. Found Caroline's sister. She talks tomorrow. Sarah's grip tightened on the phone. Bring it. I'm unbreakable. Sleep claimed her. Dreams of justice swirling, the envelope's secrets pulsing like a heartbeat, bridging her world of quiet heroism to the storm ahead. Face it, black girl. You're just like your dead mother, meddling where you don't belong. Richard's hiss crackled through the hidden recorder. Emma slipped into Sarah's bag, his recorded confession from a tapped call blasting in the tense Harlem safe house. Sarah's fist clenched white-knuckled on the table. William asleep in his carrier nearby, his peaceful breaths clashing with the venom. Emma paused the tape, her face stone-hard. That's enough for now. But Sarah, Dad needs to hear this. He's our father, hidden all these years. Sarah's eyes flashed. Hidden? Why? Mom shielded him from what? White backlash against a black judge loving a black activist? Emma leaned in, grip iron on Sarah's arm. Meet him. Tonight. No more secrets. Sarah nodded sharply, scooping William up, his warmth stealing her. Fine. But if he turns away... They moved fast, Emma driving through the night streets, Rebecca tailing in her car for backup. The judge's brownstone loomed in upscale Manhattan, lights dim. William stirred as they knocked, the door creaking open to William Jenkins' stern frame, robes shed for a simple shirt, his black features etched with decades of courtroom battles. Who's this? He demanded, eyes narrowing at Sarah's face, mirroring his own, the resemblance hitting like a gut punch. Emma shoved forward. Your daughter, Dad. Sarah. Mom's secret. Jenkins staggered back, hand clutching the doorframe. Helen. She never said... Sarah cut him off, voice blade sharp. She protected you from racial storms, from losing your bench to scandal. But now, your blood's in the fight. Jenkins' jaw worked, no words, just a choked breath as he waved them inside, the door slamming shut against the city noise. The living room tensed. Photos of civil rights marches lining the walls, Jenkins sinking into a chair, hands trembling. I loved her. Brief, fierce. She vanished, said it was for my career. Sarah thrust the envelope forward, Mom's letter spilling out. Read it. She knew you'd find us. Jenkins scanned the words, eyes widening. Daughters, both mine, and Harrington, he caused her death? Emma nodded. Tape proves it. Crash. Cover-up. Caroline, too. Sarah's voice cracked fiercely. Forgive? You sat on that bench watching me be slapped, not knowing I was yours. Jenkins stood abruptly, face twisting in regret. I failed her. Failed you. But no more. He pulled Sarah into a crushed hug, William between them, the boy's gurgle breaking the silence. Family now. I recuse myself from the case. But off record? Resources. Contacts. Tears burned Sarah's eyes, but she pulled back. Apology accepted. On condition. Help us bury him. Jenkins nodded, still returning. Done. My network. FBI ties from old cases. Black Judges Alliance. Emma smiled grimly. Reconciliation starts with action. They huddled over the table, Jenkins pulling files from a safe, old dossiers on Harrington scams. He targeted black districts, evictions masked as development. Sarah's fingers traced Mom's letter. She left this for us, clues to his safe, hidden proofs. Jenkins' eyes lit. Caroline's death. I reviewed her file years ago, suspicious bruises. Buried it then, but now... He dialed a contact, voice low. Old favor, pull Harrington's financials. Sarah paced, William fussing. She nursed him quickly, the act grounding her amid chaos. He married me to control, knew I was digging Mom's crash. Apologies deepened, Jenkins gripping Sarah's hand. I should have searched for Helen harder. White system elevated me, blinded me. Sarah squeezed back. We all paid, but united, we crush him. Emma spread maps. Next, raid his office safe. Mom's letter hints at a key. Jenkins nodded. I know a way in. Discreet. Laughter broke through. William's coup drew smiles. Grandpa's got fight, Sarah murmured, the word testing foreign but right. Hours ticked, plans sharpening, Jenkins vowing protection. No more alone, Sarah stood. Family forged in fire. But as they left, Jenkins slipped her a new detail, a locket from Mom inside a microfilm strip. Found this in her things. Photos of Harrington's car at the crash. Sarah's breath caught, clutching it. The hook, deeper than we thought. Emma's eyes widened. A new mystery. Caroline's sister mentioned a matching film. The door closed, night air biting, but Sarah's steps surged forward, the locket's weight promising revelations, pulling them into larger shadows. You thought your little black family reunion could touch me? Richard's voice sneered over the encrypted video call, his pale face filling the laptop screen in Emma's Harlem safe house. Sarah's teeth ground, knuckles whitening as she gripped William's carrier, his soft snores a stark contrast to the venom. I built an empire on your people's backs. Harlem's mine, and you'll never prove a damn thing. He leaned closer, eyes cold as ice. Keep digging, Sarah, and you'll end up like your mother, smashed under my wheels. Emma slammed the laptop lid, her lawyer's composure cracking. He's baiting us, knows we're close. Sarah stood, pacing, William's weight anchoring her fury. He's not just threatening, he's admitting it. Mom's crash, Caroline's death. Rebecca, flipping through files, jabbed a finger at a printout. This call, traced to his penthouse. He's cocky, thinks his white money shields him. Sarah's eyes burned, the locket from Mom dangling at her neck, microfilm inside whispering of Harrington's guilt. Then we hit harder. He wants a war? We bring one. Richard's hostility surged. His team leaked stories to tabloids, painting Sarah as a vindictive black ex-wife, stirring racial trouble. Social media exploded, slurs flooding her inbox. Go back to the hood, Leach. Madison, out on bail, posted a smirking selfie outside Richard's office. Caption, dripping venom. Black lies won't win. Sarah scrolled, jaw tight, each word a lash, but she fired back, tweeting, Truth doesn't care about your color or cash. Jacri, justice for Harlem. Shares spiked, black activists amplifying, but Richard doubled down, sending a thug to tail Emma's car. Caught on dashcam, license plate clear. Emma played the footage, fist slamming the table. He's escalating, means we're rattling him. Sarah nodded, strapping William tighter, his warmth fueling her. Good, let him sweat. They hacked deeper. Emma's contact in the DA's office slipped them Richard's financials, showing millions funneled to offshore accounts post-crash. Covering bribes, Rebecca hissed, circling a transfer to a corrupt cop. Sarah's mind raced. Mom's death, Caroline's fall, all tied to Richard's empire, built on displacing black families for profit. He's not just a tycoon, he's a predator, white privilege weaponized. A knock. Jenkins burst in, face grim, fresh from a judge's meeting. Richard's got pull, pressuring my colleagues to dismiss assault charges. Sarah's breath caught, but Jenkins raised a hand. I've got allies, black judges, old civil rights crew. We're watching. He slid a burner phone across. FBI tip line, use it. Sarah dialed, voice steady. Harrington's laundering through real estate. Check 2015 crash payouts. The agent's reply was curt. Send proof. Now. Emma emailed the microfilm scans, blurry shots of Richard's SUV at Mom's crash site, license plate half visible. Madison's next move hit fast. A public interview, tears as fake as her tan. Sarah's framing us. Poor black girl playing victim. She clutched Richard's arm on camera, his smile smug. She trapped me with that kid. Sarah's phone buzzed with threats. Anonymous, racial, vicious. Back off or your baby's next. Her heart pounded, but she kissed William's forehead. They won't touch you. Emma's eyes blazed. They're desperate. Means the locket's real. Sarah clutched it, microfilm burning against her skin. They strategized, Jenkins pulling strings for protection, Rebecca prepping lawsuits. Sarah's resolve hardened, memories of Mom's protests flashing. We don't bow. She stood, voice iron. Richard thinks white power wins. He's wrong. Our truth's louder. Emma nodded, grabbing the car keys. Caroline's sister. She's ready to talk. The air thickened, Richard's threats looming, but Sarah's stride was fierce, lockets swinging like a war drum, leading them deeper into his unraveling empire. Keep your black nose out of my business, or your kid's next. The anonymous text buzzed Sarah's phone, its venom slicing through the cramped Brooklyn diner where she, Emma and Rebecca met Caroline's sister, Laura, a pale woman with haunted eyes. Sarah's fingers crushed the phone's edges, William's carrier rocking gently by her side, his soft coos clashing with the threat's chill. "They're scared," she growled, shoving the phone toward Emma. "Richard's circling. He knows we've got the locket." Emma's jaw locked, scanning Laura's trembling hands clutching a USB drive. "This better be worth it," Emma snapped. "What's on it?" Laura's voice shook. "Caroline's files. Proof Richard killed her and your mom." Sarah's heart slammed, the locket's microfilm burning against her chest from the last meeting, its blurry image of Richard's SUV now a beacon. "Talk fast," Sarah demanded, leaning in, her post-birth ache ignored as William gurgled. Laura slid the USB across. "Emails, recordings. Richard and Madison planned the crash, bribed cops. Caroline found out, so they pushed her down the stairs." Emma plugged the USB into her laptop, files spilling open, grainy audio of Richard's voice. "That black activist bitch got too close. Run her off the road." Sarah's teeth ground, fury spiking as she pictured Mom's crumpled car, the hit-and-run case buried by white money. "Keep going," she hissed. Laura swallowed hard. Caroline had proof, real estate scams, laundering through Harlem evictions. She threatened to expose him, so... Her voice cracked. "They called it an accident." Rebecca's pen flew across her notepad, circling names. "Cops on payroll. Lieutenant Daniels, retired. We find him." Sarah nodded, kissing William's forehead to steady her rage. "He'll crack. Guilty men always do." Emma pulled up old Harlem police logs, cross-referencing dates from Mom's crash. "Here, Daniels signed off. Case closed in hours. Too clean." Sarah's eyes narrowed. "Bought and paid for." They moved fast, Emma dialing a hacker ally. "Run Daniels' financials. 2015, big deposits." The hacker's reply came quickly. 10 grand wired from a Harrington shell company, day after the crash. Sarah's fist slammed the table, cups rattling. "That's Mom's blood money." Laura flinched but pushed forward. Caroline taped everything, Richard bragging about cleaning up loose ends. "It's on there." Emma clicked the audio, Richard's smug drawl filling the air. One push for Caroline, one crash for Helen. Black or white, they fall the same. Sarah's breath caught, William stirring as if sensing her pain. "He married me to watch me, stop me from digging." They split tasks, Emma chasing Daniel's address, Rebecca subpoenaing bank records. Sarah called her old teaching colleague, a black historian with Harlem ties. "Mom's protest notes. Any leads on Harrington's scams?" The historian's voice dropped low. "She tracked his land grabs. Black families evicted for luxury towers. Found a ledger once, hidden in a community center." Sarah's pulse raced. "Where is it?" The reply came sharply. "Locked storage, 125th Street. I'll get you in." They hit the streets, Sarah strapping William tighter, his warmth her anchor. At the community center, the historian unlocked a dusty storage room, shelves packed with protest relics. Sarah's fingers tore through boxes, unearthing a worn ledger, Mom's handwriting marking Harrington's shell companies, payouts to cops, judges. "This is it," Sarah whispered, passing it to Emma, who snapped photos. "Millions laundered. Harlem's homes stolen." Rebecca's eyes gleamed. "Enough for the FBI." But danger closed in. Emma's phone pinged, dash cam footage showing a black SUV tailing them from the diner. "Richard's goons," she cursed, forwarding it to Jenkins. Sarah's grip on William tightened. "They're watching. Means we're close." Jenkins texted back. "Safe house tonight. I've got FBI on speed dial." They pushed deeper, meeting a retired black cop, Daniel's old partner, in a back alley. "He took the money," the cop admitted, eyes down. "Bragged about Harrington's protection." Sarah shoved the ledger at him. "Testify, or you're next." He nodded, handing over a burner phone log. Calls between Daniels and Madison, post-crash. She coordinated bribes. Sarah's blood boiled, picturing Madison's smirk as Mom bled out. They raced to Emma's office, compiling evidence. Ledger, USB, microfilm, audio. Rebecca drafted motions, voice fierce. "We tie the crash to Caroline's murder. Conspiracy." Sarah stood, pacing, William's coos grounding her. And the evictions, racial theft, white greed. Emma nodded. We hit his empire's core. A new lead broke, Laura texted, voice shaking in a voicemail. Found Caroline's safe deposit key, First National Bank. More proof. Sarah's eyes locked on Emma's. Mom's locket mentioned a bank. They planned the hit. Tomorrow, dawn, before Richard's goons tightened the net. Sarah kissed William, whispering, For you, for Mom. The ledger's pages burned in her hands, each line a wound, each clue a weapon. As they left, tires screeched outside, Richard's SUV circling, headlights glaring. Sarah's stride didn't falter, locket swinging like a battle cry, truce piling high for the fight ahead. You're done, black girl. Nobody believes you're kind over me. Richard's taunt blared from the grainy audio on Laura's USB, played loud in the Harlem safe house, his voice dripping with white arrogance as Sarah's fist clenched, nails biting her palms. William slept in his carrier, oblivious to the storm, but Sarah's heart thundered. The locket's microfilm from Mom now joined by Caroline's damning files on the table. Emma paused the recording, eyes blazing. This is it. Proof of everything. Sarah's jaw tightened, teeth grinding. He killed Mom, Caroline, built his empire on our blood. Rebecca spread the USB's contents across her laptop. Emails, bank transfers, a chilling video of Richard and Madison plotting in a dimly lit office. Run the car off, make it look random. Richard's voice sneered, Madison giggling. One less black troublemaker. Sarah's breath hitched, picturing Mom's car flipping on that rainy Harlem night, her activist fire snuffed out. Emma slammed a fist down. And Caroline, her emails screamed she knew too much. A file popped up, Caroline's notes. Harrington's laundering millions through Harlem evictions, bribed cops to bury Helen's crash. Sarah stood pacing, William's soft snores her anchor. He married me to stop me, knew I'd dig into Mom's death. Rebecca nodded, pulling up the ledger from the community center. See this? Payments to Lieutenant Daniels, signed off the day after the crash. $50,000 to seal it. Emma cross-referenced the microfilm's photo. Richard's SUV, license plate clear now under enhancement. Matches the crash site. FBI's got this already. Sarah's eyes burned. And Caroline? Pushed because she had this USB. Laura's voice cracked from across the table. She called me days before, said Richard was nervous, ranting about black activists sniffing around his deals. Sarah's fingers clutched the locket, Mom's handwriting flashing in her mind. Harrington's mark. He targeted us. Black women fighting back, she spat. Emma played another clip. Madison's voice. Caroline's asking questions. Push her, like we planned for Helen. Sarah's knees buckled, but she caught the table, rage steadying her. They planned both, racial murders masked as accidents. Jenkins burst in, fresh from a late-night FBI call, his black face etched with fury. They've got Daniels in custody, cracked under pressure, admitted taking bribes to bury the crash. He slid a photo across. Daniels with Richard at a fundraiser shaking hands. White money, black lives stolen? Sarah's voice sliced sharply. And his empire? Built on evicting us, laundering through fake charities. Rebecca pulled up bank records. Millions flowing post-crash, post-Caroline's death. Patterns clear, silence threats, profit off Harlem. The truth crystallized. Richard and Madison orchestrated Mom's hit and run to stop her exposing their real estate scams, targeting black neighborhoods for gentrification. Caroline, discovering the crash cover-up and laundering, was pushed downstairs to silence her whistleblowing. Richard married Sarah, knowing her suspicions about Mom's death to control her. His white privilege a leash disguised as love. He thought I'd stay quiet. A black trophy wife, Sarah growled, kissing William's forehead. He underestimated us. Emma's phone buzzed. FBI agent confirming. Microfilm's legit. Crash evidence solid. Need more for murder charges. Sarah's eyes locked on the USB. This is it. Caroline's recordings tie him to both. Rebecca nodded, drafting a motion. We present tomorrow. Emergency hearing. Jenkins gripped Sarah's shoulder. I'm recused, but my allies on the bench are ready. Sarah stood, locket swinging. They killed to protect their white empire. We tear it down. For Mom, for Caroline. They planned fast. Emma copying files, Rebecca prepping testimony, Jenkins calling in favors. Sarah cradled William, his innocence fueling her fire. "You'll grow up knowing justice," she whispered. But a text hit her phone. "Madison, back off, or your boy pays." Sarah's blood iced, but she typed back, "Try me." The truth was out. Richard and Madison's crimes exposed. A web of murder, racism, and greed. As dawn broke, Sarah clutched the USB, its weight heavier than the locket, a bomb ready to detonate in court, pulling them toward the final clash. "You'll die like your black mama. Nobody cares." Madison's scream cut through the air as she lunged, shoving Sarah hard against the cold steel of Richard's office safe in his Manhattan penthouse. Sarah's back slammed into the metal, pain exploding from her still healing stitches. William's carrier swinging in her grip as she shielded him. Her teeth ground tight, fury drowning fear. "Touch my son and I'll break you," she roared, kicking Madison's shin, sending her staggering. Richard loomed behind, slamming the door shut, his pale face twisted in a snarl. "You thought you could sneak in, steal my secrets? This ends tonight." Sarah's heart pounded, the locket's microfilm and Caroline's USB burning in her pocket from the last breakthrough, proof of Richard's murders and scams now inches from exposure. "You're done," she spat, clutching William tighter, his cries piercing the tense air. Madison laughed, sharp and venomous. "Done? We own this city. Your kind's just collateral." She swung again, fist grazing Sarah's jaw as Sarah ducked, slamming her elbow into Madison's ribs. "Not this time." Sarah's voice cracked like a whip, adrenaline surging despite the ache. Richard grabbed Sarah's arm, wrenching her toward him. "Should have stayed quiet. Black wife, black baby, black lies." His grip crushed, but Sarah twisted free, shoving William's carrier behind a desk for safety. "You married me to bury Mom's truth," she shouted, lunging for the safe's keypad, fingers punching codes from Caroline's files. "Cracked last night with Emma's hacker." Richard yanked her hair, pulling her back. "Stop, or your kid's next." Sarah's knee slammed into his thigh, breaking his hold. "Never." The room spun chaotic, Madison grabbing a letter opener, its blade glinting as she charged. Sarah dodged, heart racing, picturing Mom's crashed car, Caroline's broken body. "You killed them both!" she screamed, shoving a chair into Madison's path, metal crashing loudly. William wailed, his cries fueling Sarah's fight. She scrambled for her phone, hitting Emma's speed dial, but Richard snatched it, smashing it against the wall. "No help, black girl. Nobody's coming." His smirk faltered as sirens wailed outside. Emma's backup, tipped off by the safe house plan. Madison froze, blade trembling. "You called them?" Sarah smirked, blood trickling from her lip. "Family fights back." She dove for the safe again, punching the last digits. Click, it opened. Files spilled out. Ledgers, photos, Richard's signatures on bribe orders. "Got you!" Sarah snatched a stack, but Madison tackled her, pinning her to the floor. "Burn it all," Richard barked, grabbing a lighter, papers catching flame. Sarah's elbow cracked Madison's nose, blood spraying as she rolled free, grabbing William's carrier. "Not today!" Smoke curled, alarms blaring as sprinklers hissed on, soaking them. Sarah clutched the files, William safe in her arms, and sprinted for the door. Richard lunged, fist raised, but the door burst open. FBI agents, guns drawn, Emma behind them. "Freeze, Harrington!" an agent yelled. Sarah slid to the ground, panting, William's cries softening as she rocked him. Madison shrieked, blade clattering as agents cuffed her. Richard backed away, hands up, face pale. "This is a mistake. I'm untouchable." Sarah stood, files dripping wet but intact, locket swinging defiantly. "Untouchable? Your empire's built on black graves. Mom's, Caroline's." Emma rushed to her side, checking William. "You okay?" Sarah nodded, fire in her eyes. "Got the proof." Rebecca stormed in, seizing the files. "Enough for murder, laundering, game over." Richard's glare burned, but Sarah met it, unyielding. You thought you broke me. Wrong. I'm my mother's daughter. Agents dragged Richard and Madison out, cuffs clicking, their curses drowned by sirens. Sarah kissed William's head, his warmth her anchor. Emma gripped her shoulder. We're not done. Court's next. The safe's contents, scorched but legible, promised ruin for Richard's white empire. As they stepped into the night, FBI lights flashing, Sarah's stride held steady, the files heavy with justice, a final clash looming in the courtroom ahead. You're nothing but a black liar trying to ruin me. Richard's voice roared from the holding cell video feed, his cuffed hands slamming the table as Sarah watched, her jaw clenched tight. William cradled in her arms at the FBI's New York field office. The files from his office safe, scorched but salvaged, lay spread across the table, their damning words burning hotter than the lighter he'd tried to use. Emma shoved a photo forward, Richard's SUV at Mom's crash site, license plate clear. This ends you, she snapped, her lawyer's glare cutting through the screen. Sarah's heart pounded, the Lockett's microfilm now paired with Caroline's USB. But one final piece was missing to seal his fate. Agent Carter, a grizzled black FBI veteran, leaned in. We've got enough for laundering conspiracy, but murder? Need airtight. Sarah's teeth ground, kissing William's forehead, his warmth steadying her. Then we get it. Caroline's safe deposit. She mentioned a key. Laura, Caroline's sister, nodded from the corner, hands trembling as she slid a small brass key across. She hit it. More recordings. Richard admitting everything. Sarah's eyes locked on Emma's. First National Bank. Mom's locket pointed there too. They moved fast. Emma, Sarah, and Rebecca piling into Carter's SUV. William strapped in, cooing softly. Stay sharp, Carter warned, weaving through Manhattan traffic. Harrington's got men. White money buys loyalty. Sarah's fingers clutched the locket, Mom's words echoing. Harrington's mark. At the bank, the manager, a black woman with sharp eyes, recognized Jenkins' name from his judicial pull. Judge's orders? Box 237, right this way. Sarah's pulse raced as they entered the vault, the key turning with a click, revealing a steel box. Inside, tapes, photos, a handwritten note from Caroline. Richard planned Helen's crash, my murder. Recordings prove it. Sarah's breath caught, handing William to Emma as she grabbed a cassette. Carter plugged it into a portable player. Richard's voice crackled. Push Caroline, like we ran Helen off. Black or white, their problem solved. Madison's giggle followed. Clean, boss. Sarah's fist balled, nails biting palms. That's Mom's blood, her voice silenced. Rebecca scanned photos. Richard with corrupt cops, shaking hands post-crash. This nails bribery too. But danger struck. An alarm shrieked. Bank doors locking. Carter's radio crackled. Harrington's goons. Outside, armed. Sarah's heart leapt, clutching William as Emma shoved the evidence into a bag. They're cornering us. Carter drew his gun, barking orders to security. Back exit, move. They sprinted through a service hall, footsteps pounding, a thug's shout echoing. Give us the box, black bitch. Sarah's legs burned, post-birth pain ignored. William's cries spurring her. Emma kicked a door open, night air hitting hard as they dove into the SUV. Tires screeched, Carter dodging a black van ramming close. Sarah shielded William, her voice fierce. They won't stop us. Rebecca clutched the evidence bag, shouting into her phone. Jenkins, get SWAT. First National now. Gunshots popped behind, glass shattering, but Carter swerved, losing the tail. Safe house, 10 minutes, he grunted. Sarah's eyes scanned the photos, one showing Madison at the crash site smirking. She was there, Mom's last moments. Emma's hand gripped hers. We've got them both. At the safe house, Jenkins met them, face grim but steady. Daniels flipped, confessed to taking bribes to bury the crash. He spread new files, wire transfers linking Richard to offshore accounts, post-Caroline's death. Sarah played another tape, Richard's cold orders. Evict Harlem, wash the money through condos. Black families don't fight back. Her stomach churned. Racial theft, his empire's built on it. Carter nodded, uploading everything to FBI servers. This, plus the cassette, murder, conspiracy, laundering. Done. They worked through the night, Emma cross-referencing tapes with ledger entries, Rebecca drafting affidavits. Sarah fed William, his eyes trusting, fueling her fire. For you, Mom, Caroline? A final lead broke, Laura's text. Found Caroline's old phone. Passcode cracked, more audio. Emma synced it, Richard's voice chilling. Marry Sarah, keep her quiet. She's Helen's kid, too curious. Sarah's blood iced. He used me. White cage for a black heart. Jenkins stood, voice iron. Court tomorrow. My allies are ready. The evidence piled. Tapes, photos, ledgers, confessions. Unbreakable. Sarah kissed William, whispering, We're free. But Carter's phone buzzed. Richard's lawyer offering a plea. He's desperate, Rebecca sneered. No deals, full exposure. Sarah nodded, locket heavy, evidence heavier. As dawn lit the city, she stood, ready for court, the final truth a blade sharpened for Richard's fall, justice pulsing like William's heartbeat in her arms. You think your black sob story will ruin me? Richard's sneer echoed in the packed New York courtroom, his cuffed hands jerking as he leaned toward Sarah on the witness stand, his pale face twisted with rage. Sarah's fists clenched, nails biting her palms. William's carrier beside Emma in the gallery, his soft coos drowned by the tension. Your empire's built on Mom's blood, she fired back, voice sharp as a blade, holding up the cassette from Caroline's safe deposit box, its damning audio of Richard's murder plots now public. Play it. Let everyone hear your white lies crumble. The judge, Jenkins' ally, a black woman with steel eyes, banged her gavel. Order. Proceed, Mrs. Jenkins. Sarah's heart pounded, the locket at her neck pulsing with Mom's truth. The USB and ledger from the safe stacked before her, evidence from last night's bank heist burning bright. Emma stood, slamming the cassette into a player, Richard's voice booming. Run Helen off. Black activist, too nosy. Caroline's next. Push her. Gasps erupted, jurors' faces hardening, reporters scribbling furiously. Madison, cuffed at the defense table, shrieked, He made me! But Richard cut her off, lunging forward. Liar! You pushed her! Sarah's eyes locked on his, unyielding. You planned it. Mom's crash, Caroline's fall, all to protect your racist scams. She thrust the ledger forward, pages marked with bribes to cops, laundering through Harlem evictions. Your money stole our homes, our lives. Rebecca beside her spread photos, Richard's SUV at the crash, Madison's smirk at the scene. This ties you to murder, conspiracy, Rebecca snapped, voice slicing. The judge nodded. Admitted into evidence. Richard's lawyer, a slick white man, jumped up. Objection, unverified. But Sarah cut him off, voice iron. Verified by your client's own words. Listen. Another tape played, Richard's cold laugh. Marry Sarah, keep her quiet. Black girls don't fight back. The gallery roared, black activists chanting outside, their voices seeping through walls. Justice for Harlem. Madison's face paled, her lawyer whispering frantically, but she shoved him away. I've got recordings too. Richard ordered everything. She pulled a hidden drive from her sleeve, tossing it to the bailiff. Play it. I'm done protecting him. The courtroom erupted, Richard lunging at Madison, bailiffs tackling him, cuffs clinking as he screamed, You traitor! The new audio rolled, Richard's voice chilling. Evict them. Wash the money. Black districts are ours. Jurors recoiled, one woman covering her mouth. Sarah stood taller, William's coos grounding her. You thought I'd break. Black, pregnant, alone. Wrong. I'm Helen's daughter. Emma gripped her hand, eyes fierce. And mine. Sisters fight together. Rebecca piled on, presenting bank records. Millions funneled post-crash, post-Caroline's death. Conspiracy, murder, laundering, guilty. The judge's gavel slammed, silencing Richard's curses. Enough! The evidence speaks. Sarah's breath steadied, pointing at Richard. You caged me to hide your crimes. White power over black truth. Not anymore. The crowd cheered, reporters snapping photos, the locket glinting as Sarah raised it. Mom's here. Her justice wins. Madison broke, sobbing, spilling more. He bribed everyone, cops, judges, to bury Helen's case. Richard's face crumpled, his empire exposed. Racial theft, murders, all laid bare. Jenkins watched from the back, recused but present, his nod to Sarah heavy with pride. "Finish it," he mouthed. Sarah turned to the jury, voice clear. "He stole our homes, our lives. Punish him for every black family he crushed." The judge called a recess. Richard dragged away, still ranting. "This isn't over." Sarah stepped down, Emma hugging her tight, William reaching for her. "You did it," Emma whispered. Rebecca grinned, shark-like. "He's done. Life in prison." The courtroom buzzed, activists outside chanting louder, signs reading, "Helen lives." Sarah kissed William's head, the locket warm against her skin. The truth was out. Richard's racist empire shattered, but one final step remained. Ensuring justice stuck, the weight of evidence now a sword poised for sentencing, ready to cut deep. "You built your empire on black graves, but justice buries you." Sarah's voice rang out in the packed New York courtroom, her fingers stabbing toward Richard as he slumped in his chair, cuffs glinting, his pale face drained of its smug mask after the damning cassette played in the last hearing. William cooed in Emma's arms in the gallery, his tiny fist waving as if cheering. The judge, Jenkins' ally, Judge Angela Carter, a black woman with iron resolve, slammed her gavel, silencing the crowd's roar. "Mr. Harrington, you face charges of murder, conspiracy, and money laundering. The evidence is ironclad." Richard lunged up, voice cracking. "This is a witch hunt. Black lies against white success." But Carter cut him off, eyes blazing. "Sit down, or I'll hold you in contempt." Sarah's jaw clenched, the locket at her neck pulsing with Mom's vindication, the USB's recordings and Ledger's bribes sealing Richard's fate. Madison, tried separately, sat cuffed nearby, her face hollow as she nodded to her plea deal. Testimony for a lighter sentence. "He ordered it all," she muttered, voice flat. Helen's crash, Caroline's push. The prosecutor, a sharp black, stacked files high. 2 murders, countless evictions. Harrington's empire targeted black communities. He played Richard's taped confession again. "Run Helen off, black troublemaker." Gas rippled, jurors glaring. Sarah stood, voice steady. "He married me to silence me. Knew I'd dig into Mom's death." Carter nodded, admitting final evidence. Bank transfers to cops. Photos of Richard's SUV at the crash. "Guilty," the foreman declared after brief deliberation, voice booming. "Life without parole." Richard collapsed, screaming, "You can't do this!" Bailiffs dragged him out, his curses fading as doors slammed. Madison's head bowed, her deal locking her away for 20 years. Sarah's breath steadied, gripping Emma's hand, William's coups grounding her. Outside, Harlem activists chanted, "Justice for Helen," with signs. Rebecca grinned, shark-like. "Assets frozen, millions for restitution." Jenkins, watching from the back, whispered, "Your mother's proud." Sarah stepped into the hall, reporters swarming, cameras flashing. "Mrs. Jenkins, how's it feel?" one shouted. She faced them, locket gleaming. "Free! My son won't grow under his shadow." Emma lifted William, his giggle cutting through the noise. The crowd parted, black elders hugging Sarah, their tears mixing with hers. "You avenged us all," one said. Sarah's heart swelled, but her eyes stayed fierce. "Not just me. Mom's evidence. Caroline's truth. We fought together." Carter emerged, shaking Sarah's hand. "Your testimony broke him. Harlem's safer now." The verdict spread, news tickers blazing. Tycoon guilty in racial murder conspiracy. Richard's empire crumbled, properties seized, bribes exposed, and corrupt cops indicted. Sarah kissed William's head, whispering, "Your world's cleaner now." Emma hugged her. "We're not done. Restitution's just the start." The locket warmed against Sarah's skin, Mom's legacy sealed in justice. But a new purpose burned, ready to rebuild from the ashes of Richard's fall. "Your black blood doesn't deserve a dime of my empire." Richard's final courtroom rant echoed in Sarah's mind as she stood at the podium in Harlem's community center. William balanced on her hip, his tiny hands clutching her locket. The crowd, hundreds of black families displaced by Richard's scams, watched, eyes hopeful but wary. Sarah's jaw clenched, teeth grinding against the memory of his hate, but her voice cut sharply. His money built on our pain. Now it builds our future. She raised a check, $10 million from Richard's seized assets. The Jenkins Justice Fund starts today. For us, by us. Emma stepped up, passing William to Jenkins, who cradled his grandson with a proud nod. This fund, legal aid, housing, jobs for black survivors, Emma declared, her lawyer's fire igniting cheers. Sarah's heart pounded, the locket's weight tying her to Mom's legacy, its microfilm now public, exposing Richard's crimes. Jenkins, retired from the bench, took the mic. I failed Helen. Didn't see her struggle. Not anymore. He slammed a fist down. This money rights wrongs. Every cent for Harlem's stolen. The room erupted, fists raised, chants of, Helen lives, shaking the walls. Sarah's eyes burned, picturing Mom's marches, her secret files that broke Richard. We're not victims, Sarah shouted, voice slicing. We're warriors, black, strong, unbroken. She handed the check to a community elder, who wept, hugging her tight. Your mama would have led this. Sarah nodded, kissing William's forehead. She is. Through us. Rebecca, now fund director, spread plans. Safe houses, scholarships, legal clinics targeting racial injustice. Action surged. Sarah leading a march to City Hall, William in a sling, banners high, restitution now. Thousands joined, black and brown faces united, their steps shaking Manhattan streets. Emma filed motions, seizing more of Richard's properties, towers built on evicted black homes. Condos become community centers, she grinned, handing deeds to families. Jenkins met with NROACP allies, securing corporate pledges, $5 million more. For my daughters, he whispered, gripping Sarah's hand, his guilt fueling action. A reporter cornered Sarah, Mike thrust forward. Why give it all away? Sarah's eyes flashed. It's not giving. It's taking back what's ours. She pointed to William. His future won't be stolen. The story hit national news, Jenkins Justice trending, donations flooding in. Sarah's phone buzzed, messages from survivors. You gave me hope. She replied, fingers flying. We rise together. But a threat lingered. Richard's old lawyer texting. You'll pay for this, black girl. Sarah smirked, forwarding it to Carter. Let him try. They opened the first safe house, Mom's name on the plaque, Helen Jenkins Haven. Sarah cut the ribbon, William giggling, the crowd cheering. Inside, women like her, black, battered, rising, hugged her, their kids playing with William. Emma whispered, this is Mom's dream. Jenkins, overseeing construction, added, and mine, atoning for lost years. Sarah's chest tightened, pride mixing with pain. We're family now, forged in fight. A new lead broke. An old ally of Mom's, a black pastor, handed Sarah a photo. Mom organizing against evictions. Richard's face in the background, glaring. She scared him, the pastor said. Knew his scams. Sarah clutched it, fuel for the fund's mission. They launched job programs. Black women trained as paralegals, teachers, coders. Sarah taught a class, voice steady. Own your power. Nobody takes it. Students nodded, eyes fierce, echoing her strength. Night fell, Sarah rocking William, the locket warm against her skin. Jenkins joined, passing her a deed. Richard's penthouse, now a fund office. Your mother's justice, scaled up. Sarah smiled, whispering to William, you'll grow in light, not shadows. The fund's logo, a locket with Harlem's skyline, spread across billboards, a beacon of hope. As Sarah locked the safe house door, a crowd gathered outside, chanting her name. Their voices a promise of more battles won, a legacy rising from the ashes of pain. You can't erase me, black girl. I'll haunt you forever. Richard's final prison letter crumpled in Sarah's fist. His suicide note from last week's news a bitter echo as she stood on the Harlem Community Center stage. William toddling at her feet, now a year old, clutching a toy locket. The crowd, thousands, black, Brown, allies, roared, signs blazing. Jenkins, justice lives. Sarah's jaw clenched, teeth grinding against his ghost, but her voice sliced through. He thought he'd break us. White hate, white money. Wrong. We're unbreakable, and Mom's legacy burns brighter. Emma handed her a mic, eyes fierce, while Jenkins stood proud, William in his arms, gray hair glinting under stage lights. 5 years since the slap, Sarah declared, locket gleaming at her neck, its microfilm long public. Richard's empire dust after the courtroom rout. We took his millions, turned them into safe houses, schools, futures. For us. Cheers erupted, fists raised, Harlem's pulse alive. Rebecca, now full-time fund director, flashed a grin, holding up a deed. Helen Jenkins Haven, 10 locations, saving thousands. Sarah's heart pounded, picturing Mom's marches, her secret files that shattered Richard's racist scams, murders of Helen and Caroline, Harlem evictions, laundered millions. We're family, she shouted, gripping Emma's hand, Jenkins nodding. Blood, choice, struggle, united. The crowd chanted, Helen, Helen, as Sarah lifted William, his giggle cutting through. This boy grows free, black, proud, loved. She kissed his head, the locket warm, Mom's presence pulsing. Flashbacks hit, courtroom chaos, Richard's cuffs, Madison's plea deal landing her in a psych ward, broken by guilt. Sarah had testified, voice iron, exposing their crimes. Mom's hit and run, Caroline's push, Harlem's stolen homes. Now the Jenkins Justice Fund thrived. $20 million from seized assets, corporate pledges, survivor donations. Sarah led marches, spoke on CNN, her face on billboards. Rise, break silence. Women approached her daily, black, Latina, white, sharing stories. You saved me. Sarah's reply never wavered. You saved yourself. I showed the way. The gala pulsed, music, food, survivors dancing. Sarah mingled, William on her hip, greeting elders who knew Mom. One handed her a photo, Helen at a 90s protest, fist raised against eviction. She'd be proud, the elder said. Sarah's eyes burned, nodding. She's here. Jenkins joined, passing William. His judge's gravitas softened. I lost years with you. Helen's choice, my failure. But this? He gestured to the crowd. Our redemption. Sarah hugged him, whispering, family now. A young woman, bruises fading, approached. I left him. Your story gave me courage. Sarah gripped her hands. You're the hero. Join us. The woman nodded, signing up for the fund's job program. Emma whispered, That's 50 this month. Harlem's rising. Rebecca added, 3 new safe houses opening. Chicago, Atlanta. Sarah's chest swelled, but a text buzzed. Madison's lawyer. She's donating her trust fund. $2 million, says it's blood money. Sarah's lips pressed tight. Take it. Clean it for good. The stage called. Sarah took the mic again. William clapping. Crowd hushed. 5 years ago, I was slapped, pregnant, and alone. Richard thought black women broke easily. He forgot our roots. Mom's fight, our strength. She raised the locket. This held her truth. Now it holds ours. We're not victims. We're warriors. Applause thundered, William squealing, Mama! Jenkins lifted him high, the crowd laughing. Sarah's voice sharpened. The lesson? Your pain's not your shame. It's your power. White hate, rich greed, they fall when we stand. She stepped down, Emma hugging her, Jenkins beaming. A reporter thrust a mic. What's next? Sarah's eyes gleamed. More. Every city, every survivor. Outside, Harlem glowed, banners waving. Jenkins justice forever. Sarah walked with William, Emma, and Jenkins. Their steps synced. A family forged in fire. A new safe house opened across the street. Mom's name carved in stone. Sarah whispered, We did it, Mom. The crowd parted, kids running to William, survivors hugging Sarah, their strength a chorus. Later at Jenkins' brownstone they gathered. Family dinner, William scribbling with crayons, drawing a locket. Emma raised a glass. To Helen, Our spark. Jenkins clinked, voice thick. To my daughters, my pride. Sarah smiled, sipping water, as William climbed onto her lap. To us, unbroken. The radio played, news of new laws. Helen Jenkins Act, protecting black survivors. Sarah's phone buzzed, messages from Tokyo, London. Starting Jenkins funds, saving lives. She typed back, keep fighting, sisters everywhere. As night fell, Sarah stood on the balcony, William asleep, city humming below. Mom's photo rested beside her, young, fierce, marching. You planned this, Sarah whispered, locket warm. Your ripples are waves. Emma joined, arm around her. We're just starting. Jenkins added, Harlem's only the beginning. Sarah nodded, purpose blazing. The stars shone sharp, a final nod from Mom. Justice not just won but built. A legacy for William, for all, etched in unbreakable black strength. The story of Sarah Jenkins teaches us that strength rises from pain, and no one, black, white, or otherwise, can silence a heart fueled by justice. From a courtroom slap to shattering a racist empire, Sarah, her mother Helen, and their reunited family prove that unity and truth can break any chain. We're stronger together, lifting each other against hate and abuse. What's your story of resilience? Share your thoughts or experiences in the comments. We're listening. Thank you for joining us, for standing with survivors, and for believing in justice. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next story. Stay fierce.